I'm back and hopefully won't be taking a long break like that ever again. Okay, so it's been nearly 6 months since the season finale, but don't think I forgot about the family that started it all for this channel, the Plaths. Hi, I'm Danny, and you can normally find me on this channel diving into TLC shows, Christian fundamentalism, and exposing family vloggers. If that sounds like something you're into, I'm excited to have you around. If you haven't watched all of my videos on seasons 1 through 5, feel free to go watch those first, as well as parts 1, 2, and 3 of season 6. Everything is included in the playlist. Episode 9 opens with Kim and Mariah in a rental home in Tampa. Isaac is also there, but we don't really hear from him or see him.
My family is coming to Tampa to make a special music video for Devil in a Suit and Tie.
Cassie and Mercy will not be coming and are staying with friends because they'll be filming at a bar and Kim wasn't comfortable having them there.
I'm able to tolerate, being around Barry. I mean, I'm not getting warm fuzzies, at the thought of being under the same roof with him or anything.
Meanwhile, Micah and Veronica are packing to head to that rental home the following day.
I have met the whole Plath family. I love them all dearly. I consider them my extended family at this point.
Micah says that, learning from Ethan and Olivia's marriage, he made sure his partner had a good relationship with both her family and eventually his. Quite a bit of dismissal on the fact that Olivia views the years spent with her family of origin and also the Plaths as times of constant trauma. But we already know Micah now despises Olivia, so that makes sense.
I still make fun of him that he's only 7 years old because he got his birth certificate 7 years ago.
7 years ago was approximately 2017, and this show premiered in 2019, but they filmed Ethan and Olivia's 2018 wedding. Would he have gotten a birth certificate if they didn't do the show? Probably not, which is so concerning because how were these kids ever able to go and get a job? To the Kim and Barry lovers out there, please explain to me why this decision was ever acceptable. And in LA, Olivia and Lydia Grace are speed dating. But Olivia is getting more serious with Brendan, so she's doing the speed dating to keep her options open. But she obviously likes Brendan a lot and would ideally like to be exclusive with him.
The things we've experienced in our life and what we learned from that. There's a lot of life experience between the two of us, living very different lives, that I just love the conversations.
Then in Tampa, per usual, there was horrible planning and Mariah decides to give everyone room assignments after Barry and Ethan arrive. Kim has already been there a few nights, but Mariah suggests she moves out of that room and into Mariah's room so Barry could take the room Kim is currently in.
I'm gonna have to move a lot of my stuff out.
Barry reads the room and says he'll figure something else out.
My destiny is probably the futon couch.
It's truly hilarious how Kim tries to depict herself as a team player, and she simply is not and has never been. And then Ethan makes this comment, which is so confusing to me.
I have no ill feelings towards my mom. That was all stuff that was a factor in mine and Olivia's relationship, and that's gone now, so
Ethan is saying he only had negative feelings towards his mom because of Olivia. That's strange, given some of his feelings had nothing to do with Olivia, but sure, Ethan, we'll go with that. But speaking of Olivia, let's go back to LA.
I'm realizing I don't know how to flirt very well.
There's this insane moment where Olivia is talking to a guy from North Dakota, and they're talking about how you have to be creative when you're from such a boring place.
When you don't have a lot to do, you have to make up games in your head.
You gotta be more creative.
Yeah. Like Jeffrey Dahmer,
This comment is not only insane, but confusing because Dahmer was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which has a lot more going on than North Dakota. But also, mentioning a serial killer on a speed date? Yeah, that's insane. But that concluded their time.
I apparently got 3 matches.
I got 0.
For further context, Olivia didn't write yes for anyone. So getting 0 matches was her only option. And now it's morning in Tampa and Barry is hovering over Kim as she makes breakfast. He's letting her know he already ate and went to the kombucha bar.
Couldn't resist the call of the kombucha. But this smells great.
And Kim just wasn't having it.
I'm not really interested in hearing all the reasons why he's not having breakfast.
But things change when Mariah calls for Kim and shows that she's losing chunks of hair again due to her alopecia.
Oh.
Heartbreak triggers my alopecia. I think that it's an outward reflection of what's going on inside.
I am extremely happy to see this positive parenting moment for Kim.
You're so strong, and I'm so proud of you.
Then we skip over to the recording studio with Mariah, Veronica, Micah, Ethan, and Barry.
This album is a letter to him. I need him to hear these songs so that he finally knows what I was going through.
One thing I've learned in trauma recovery is the person who inflicted the trauma rarely cares or believes you when you call them out on their behavior. So while I'm glad Mariah has an outlet through music to work through everything that's happened, her need is probably not going to be met if this guy sucks as much as she has shared. Mariah then leaves the room and everyone starts talking about what they knew about what happened with her ex. I guess Mariah leaned on Veronica a fair amount at that time.
We had messages back and forth. We would talk and just like, hey, I see this. I don't know how I feel. And I was like, hey, that's not good. You should be cherished.
This was also right when Mariah moved out of the place she shared with Ethan and Olivia, and Ethan later learned it was the boyfriend that was telling her to keep her distance from Ethan.
And at the very end, she found out that he actually had another girl that was either his girlfriend or his wife or whatever.
This guy also had a child with that woman. I really do feel bad that Mariah cannot seem to find healthy or safe men to date. Even Barry says he talked to this guy for 3 hours and thought he was an amazing person. So Barry felt tricked.
I mean, talk about scum of the earth.
I'm really happy to see Mariah's family wrap around her and be there for her after something this scary and confusing.
You get to the other side, you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're like, oh, it does get better.
Still at the recording studio, Mariah is having Ethan sing on her album, and he shares that he didn't do a lot of singing when he was with Olivia.
She kind of, unfortunately, mocked the singing that my family did and told me I didn't have a good voice.
I'm curious about what the context of this is, because I actually think Ethan's voice is decent. I cannot say the same about Mariah, but this just feels like a really mean thing for Olivia to say to him.
Maybe that's the problem, our hearts go numb. We can't even feel it. We found the right one. It won't be broken again.
All right, that isn't the worst we've heard on this show.
I think getting the band back together could be something that happens soon.
Well, that's something I am not personally looking forward to, but that's the end of the episode. Hopefully, episode 10 has more Olivia in it, since she's obviously the only person on the show that I consistently like. Thankfully, the episode actually opens with her. She's in Sedona, Arizona, visiting her sister Lydia Grace. But Olivia is not alone.
Who is this?
My boyfriend.
Hi.
They met at one of the weddings Olivia was shooting at in DC, and he was the dog walker for the couple's dog.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm so glad you're here.
The show makes sure we know that Ethan is unaware of this relationship.
I'm really happy to let him go his own way in life and heal how he wants and move on how he wants and find closure how he wants. And I don't feel like I need to be a part of that process.
Oh, and they already have matching tattoos from a trip they took to the Bahamas together.
We both got these turtles on our wrists, and they have these little like stars.
Olivia does show her queen tattoo that she got matching with Ethan and shares that she doesn't feel like she has to erase that chapter of her life. In Tampa, everyone is up super early, around 5 in the morning, to get ready to go and film the music video for a song on Mariah's new album. We see several minutes of everyone being sleepy, which was so boring to watch. I'll spare you from that.
The music video is Look Out for the Devil in a Suit and Tie, disguising himself as an angel of light.
Then we learn that Barry and Veronica bonded over having narcissists in their life.
So Olivia's definitely the narcissist. Barry and I were talking about, sorry girl. I call it like I see it, sort of.
Absolutely wild, considering Veronica only ever met Olivia for a brief moment at a wedding. Also, I want to mention for the millionth time that Micah is a higher functioning member of society because of Olivia. Maybe someone else could have played that role in his life, but the reality is Olivia introduced Micah to the secular life he currently lives.
She didn't even have like 2 seconds to say hi. She just like shoulder bumped into me and like, Mean Girls. I said, oh, okay. I guess everything I heard could be true.
Super brave of Veronica to say all of this about a stranger when she wouldn't even go on camera at first. I cannot understand why Olivia would give Micah's new girlfriend more than 2 seconds, but Veronica and her man can have their negative feelings about Olivia in the same way I have negative feelings about the entire Plath family. But Veronica has become the perfect replacement for Olivia, as she is now planning a surprise party for Mariah with Kim.
Veronica and I decided to do something separate for Micah, and this weekend is really all about Mariah.
They finished shooting, and the video editor chose a very creative filter for this video.
Everybody just came together and it was fun.
Now I'm gonna tell you what I couldn't see.
Let's go back to Arizona, where Olivia is realizing that her fear of staying in one place was more of a fear of being trapped.
I feel like this is the first time in my life that like I can see myself having a home.
And by home, she's referring more so to Brendan. But in Tampa, Veronica is maybe starting to see that Kim isn't an easy person to work with.
Yeah, I want the cake done though before they get here.
Micah said his mom was very like her way or the highway. I'm very type A. I like everything organized.
Veronica's comments on Olivia made me not really trust her. I mean, I already felt weird vibes just from her and Micah's interactions, but this moment with Kim felt incredibly fake to me.
I want to thank you again for having me here. I've had so much fun with the family.
Then Kim shares this interesting comment.
I mean, I'm going to do what I've always done, which is be nice, be friendly, be helpful, and they either like me or they don't.
Yes, you were always super nice, friendly, and helpful to Olivia. I'm glad you feel that way, Kim. But the cameras have shown otherwise. Then Mariah shows up thinking this is a surprise birthday party for Micah.
Surprise!
No, happy birthday!
No, congratulations, Mariah.
Guys!
And then the family just hangs out for the rest of the day. Back in Sedona, I saw a lot of viewers being pissed about this moment.
No, I don't see a bug. Just a good old hickey.
I have zero problem with this and don't know why anyone would care. Olivia and her man can do whatever they want together. Then the producers bring up what the tarot reading told Olivia a few months ago.
She told me I was gonna get back together with my ex, which I did not want to hear. But should we make that come true?
Yeah.
Are we over?
Yeah.
We're done.
I feel so differently about Olivia and Brendan versus Micah and Veronica's interactions. One makes me feel like it's new, awkward, and genuine love, while the other feels fake and uncomfortable to watch. As Veronica said, I call it like I see it.
That's hot. These are the kind of moments that I always wanted in a relationship.
This episode consisted of maybe 7,000 I love yous from both of them, and I can't help but be really happy for Olivia and the love she's found. I genuinely hope Ethan ends up finding the same for himself.
All I want to do is put down some roots and like get some chickens with you and plant fruit trees and enjoy life.
At Ken's house, Mariah explains to Kim and Lydia that she is starting a band.
I'm starting a band with like professional musicians, and then hopefully that'll inspire everybody else to join as much as possible.
By everybody, Mariah is referring to the family. So despite having professional musicians, she wants her decently talented family around too. However, Kim then suggests they try to do one final concert as a family.
We won't be doing gospel music, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do whatever.
I would like to just do worship music.
In the meantime, Lydia agrees to sing one of Mariah's songs.
I'm a monster, don't come closer. You can chase me, but I'm faster.
Yep, that's really something. Meanwhile, in Minneapolis, Ethan is out with his friend Andres, and they're going line dancing. And we see some absurd editing.
Hello there.
Me and Andreas walk in, and I noticed right away, really cute blonde girl.
And this woman seems to realize quickly that this is not her dream man.
Anything else besides cars?
I'm excited in front of like
Well, I love the country.
Well, she does stick around for line dancing, so I guess she doesn't hate him.
I told you I was going to step on your feet.
Sit back.
And to my surprise, Lily gives Ethan her phone number.
Are you gonna call her?
Yeah, I'm gonna call her.
In Sedona, Olivia and Brendan are getting aura photos taken, and we see a completely different reaction to this unique experience from Ethan's reaction during their Joshua Tree experience.
What does that do other than affect her ability to enjoy the thing that she really wanted to do? It's just an opportunity for me to learn and maybe understand something that I didn't necessarily understand before.
Then their auras are read.
This beautiful bright yellow coming in. This is total transformation and shift. So bright new things heading in.
This gets Olivia and Brendan thinking about how they've discussed Olivia moving closer to him. But then the show cuts to a commercial and picks back up in South Florida with Micah and Veronica.
Veronica and I have been together for a year and a half. You know, we have ups and downs, but we communicate decently about what we want, what we need.
Maybe this works for them, but I genuinely find it to be such a red flag that they're always talking about how challenging and roller coaster-like this relationship is. It seems to me like Micah is much more obsessed with the idea of this being a good relationship than it actually being one.
Yeah, so we're just looking, but out of curiosity, what's your ring size?
So I guess this could turn into a marriage fairly soon.
That is pretty.
Matches. So I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Veronica, that rock is absolutely massive. But I clearly know nothing because it was under $500 and Micah bought it that day.
How about this? I will buy this for you as a cocktail ring for now.
I don't think I'll ever understand this relationship. I would say if they're happy, then that's great. But Micah always seems to stay just a little bit distant in these romantic moments, as if he's not really ready to dive in quite yet. Back in Sedona, we learned that Olivia and Brendan have now been dating for a few months, and Olivia has officially met all of his family. Today is the first time, well, other than a short hello, he'll be meeting Lydia Grace.
Are you doing tarot readings right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
How do you know how
He
to
only
do a tarot
charges
reading?
$5.
because it's like right here.
Because it's not good.
Wow, hater nation.
So I think these two definitely get along, and Olivia is very happy to know that as they're so important in her life right now. Also, Olivia does not have a relationship with the rest of her family.
Me introducing you to Lydia and you guys hanging out is my version of like you taking me to meet your parents.
Yeah.
One thing that is clear about Brendan is he is the open-minded and loving guy Olivia always deserved. I think a slight fear I have for them is it seems they're both going through the hard stages of learning self-love in your 20s. However, as I've mentioned, I've been with my husband since I was 16, and I've loved having each other through those hard stages and the understanding we've always had for one another. I hope that's what this relationship will provide for both of them.
I do feel like it's rash.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you so much.
Then, in Minnesota, Ethan talks about how he doesn't really know how to flirt with the girl he met at the bar, Lily, and how this transition to dating isn't as easy as he'd like it to be.
It's very hard for me to imagine loving someone else. I think that's what I'm still struggling with, is like feeling something for someone else.
And now for the season finale, episode 12. Everyone, including Ken and Veronica, is meeting Mariah at a hotel in St. Pete, Florida, to do a mini vacation as well as a family concert.
I called Barry and asked him if he would be okay if Ken came. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, when he said, yeah, that's fine.
And then Barry checked into the hotel.
I personally am here to get some sun. All I need is like an afternoon on the beach and it'll perk up my tan and yeah, enjoy just lounging and relaxing.
And the family is truly together, minus Hosanna.
You know, emotional state, I'm good. Everything's great. I'm enjoying everything.
Yep, there's definitely no tension there at all. Speaking of tension, Kim takes this opportunity of everyone being there to sit down and catch up with Ethan.
And then you grow up and, you know, life kind of hits you hard sometimes.
I can feel the heavy tension between them through the scene. This is hard to watch.
Are you doing okay after the divorce?
Oh, I don't know.
Some days are better than others.
This is followed by another 10 seconds of silence before Ethan begins playing the "woe is me" and "I am so confused what happened" cards.
I don't really know why we couldn't have made it work out.
The conversation continues with Ethan saying that Olivia made it difficult for him to have a relationship with his family and her simultaneously.
Shouldn't treat you like you deserve to be treated, you know?
I wonder if Kim knows about all the times Ethan avoided her to go work on his cars, or how little he communicated where he would be and when he would be back, or how he constantly walked out on any difficult conversation Olivia tried to have with him. Maybe Olivia didn't treat Ethan perfectly, but Ethan sure as hell didn't treat Olivia the way she deserved to be treated. Anyway, their conversation ends with them both being glad their relationship is getting better, and I can honestly say I am happy for them. I don't agree with their perspectives. However, Ethan needs love and support right now, and I'm glad he has that. Following that conversation, Ethan goes to Mariah's hotel room to practice a song he wrote. For context, the family concert is tomorrow.
Or the things that your pain will teach you. Maybe. Nope.
So it's not looking like they're very prepared. But then we learn that Mariah is a bit distracted as she has a secret she's been keeping.
I talked to him.
Why did you do that?
The him she is referring to is the mysterious ex we've been hearing about that was supposedly super awful and was the reason she went into such a depressive state. But talking to him wasn't the big news.
This guy that Mariah wrote all this music about, he's gonna be here. Like, okay, what the hell is going on?
We also learn from Ethan that this guy told Mariah not to have a relationship with Ethan. So her pulling away from Ethan wasn't exactly her decision, as we once believed. But confusingly, Mariah feels differently.
The decisions I made and how I handled myself is nobody's fault but my own. Nobody forced me to do anything.
If this guy is as awful as the Plaths believe he is, it's very possible Mariah is currently facing Stockholm Syndrome, which is definitely scary for such an emotional person like Mariah.
I want him and I want a family one day. Only time will tell what will happen, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
But Ethan isn't having any of it and says he refuses to meet the guy. I feel like I finally agree with Ethan's stubbornness for once. Later on, the whole family is gathered at a table to celebrate Ethan's birthday. Mariah shows up late and Ethan asks her when the boy is coming, and she says later that night. Ethan suggests that this is a lot to put on the family when they're all together for the first time in a very long time, and Mariah gets up and leaves.
She's leaving us in the dark about tomorrow. We're all here. She orchestrated all of this, and we don't know what's going on. I don't know what songs.
And she said goodbye to everyone.
And then Ethan reveals what's happening to the family.
Mariah said that she talked to him for 4 hours and everything he said made sense, so she believes him.
This turns into the family beginning to search for Mariah to talk to her. No one is happy with this news.
She wrote a song, The Devil in a Suit and Tie, and he's back, and she let him in.
After using Find My iPhone, they find her.
Mariah, come on. Dad and Mike want to talk to you.
I do want to take a step back and just acknowledge that this family, season after season, blamed Olivia for every dramatic moment that happened. Crazy how she has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on, and there's still plenty of drama for the cameras to capture. Makes me really wonder if Olivia was the problem. Now we cut to the next morning, and it is officially 10 hours before the concert. Barry and Kim are going to go talk to Mariah, and they had a more open-minded approach than Ethan did.
Barry and I agreed to meet with him, and we even set up a time.
And I said, okay, well, that's very reasonable.
Fast forward another 2 hours, and the family begins setting up the equipment. There's a bit of frustration towards Mariah because she doesn't really know what the plan is, despite being the one who orchestrated this event.
She needs to be focused on the concert, and we all can tell she's very distracted.
One bit of irony here is that Kim doesn't believe Mariah's ex should come to the concert. However, as we learned, Kim herself did not care about that boundary multiple seasons ago, so we'll see what happens tonight. Unfortunately, the setting up of equipment is taking much longer than expected, so Barry and Kim have to cancel meeting with the ex, at least until another day.
I think the rehearsal sucked.
And Ethan isn't the only one feeling frustrated. And just before the concert, Barry and Ken have their first one-on-one conversation, and they focus on talking about the kids.
Yeah, this is going to be a treat for you, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a throwback to the good old days when we had the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The concert finally starts and seems to be going well. I was also surprised to hear how decent Amber's voice is.
Sister, I have a few questions.
Also, Mariah's ex does not end up attending.
I wish I could have snuck my man in.
Yeah, this issue isn't going to be solved anytime soon. However, the concert continues and Ethan takes the mic and we see Kim on the bass.
Even though you're in the dark, don't give up the fight.
And the show ends with a Plath classic.
If we keep on the sunny side of life.
The episode ends with Kim saying she plans to get married to Ken after her divorce is finalized, and Micah hints that a marriage is possibly soon to come for him as well. Although, spoiler, neither couples are together anymore.
My next chapter, well, I guess the rebel is back.
And at the very end, we hear Olivia say she has officially decided to move to Washington, D.C. This means she'll now be 20 minutes away from Brendan.
I'm gonna move to Washington, D.C. Brendan lives like 20 minutes away. That's so odd. What are the odds?
And that's a wrap on season 6. Now, let's talk about what has happened off the show. In mid-October, fans figured out who this mysterious ex of Mariah's is. It turns out he is a musician by the name of Matthew Craven. Fans began leaving hate comments about his music, in which he began commenting back insults about their physical appearances. This led to his Instagram page going private. However, it is now public with one post from 2020. His caption says, "I'll never quit. Never let an individual tell you what to do with your career and dictate what should be done. Your heart, your career. Love you all." The comments are turned off. This article from October 19th and written on TV season spoilers says the TLC star's partner has a great following on his YouTube and Spotify. He has released 4 songs on the platform on his channel at Matt Craven Official. Matthew turned heads when he revealed some truths about his relationship on his Instagram. He uploaded a long post to slam Mariah's family and claimed that he wasn't in a romantic relationship with her. Mariah's boyfriend lost his calm when Ethan and the other family members leaked his son's custody issues. Cravens claimed that he didn't have any serious relationship with Mariah. Moreover, he claimed he simply helped her because she didn't have a place to live. Cravens noted that he was there for the celebrity when she needed food and shelter. Hence, fans believe that the pair must have met when Mariah left Ethan's house after she feuded with Olivia. Further, they are waiting for more information about the couple's relationship to come out. Mariah has not yet reacted to all the claims from Matthew. She has yet to reveal her side of the story in the upcoming seasons. I have no idea how true this information is. However, the entire situation is so dramatic. One report even says that Matthew went on Instagram Live and claimed Micah had cheated on Veronica 50 times and that Veronica should get tested for STDs. He talked about how Mariah went homeless after leaving the place she shared with Ethan, Olivia, and Nathan. He also said they never actually dated. However, it was leading up to that. He claims Kim cheated on Barry and that Veronica has quote-unquote harassed him and the people in his life. Finally, Matt claims he was told by the producers that he would not be mentioned on the show. The producer gave him her word that everything was scrubbed by legal when they found out Mariah wasn't telling the truth. Matt claims he is now suing the family and show. For many weeks, Mariah's Instagram was empty and silent. It wasn't until late November that she came back and claimed she was starting over. Her hair is now super dark, and she says she has detached herself from her family. She has moved from Tennessee to Montana. In December, we definitely see that Ethan has a type as he shares photos of his new girlfriend. He says she is, quote unquote, one of the sweetest, kindest, and patient people he's ever known. It turns out this woman's name is Tegan, and she is a single mom from Wisconsin. Additionally, someone is on Reddit claiming to be Isaac's girlfriend, or is posting from Isaac in her shared Reddit account. I don't know. Anyway, she's claiming she is pregnant. I have not seen any solid proof of these statements, as it doesn't seem anyone has verified this account. Fans are also getting irritated with Veronica as she seems to love to be a hater. In February, she posted this on her Instagram story. Many speculate the @M is referring to Mariah. Also, Lydia got married. They got engaged 4 months after meeting and then got married in February. It is so interesting to me that they took family photos without Hosanna, although people were saying she was absolutely there. So much credit to her for staying away from TLC and this embarrassing TV show. Many viewers have pointed out that Veronica is not in the photos, and she is also no longer featured on Micah's Instagram. In late March, Olivia posted this to Instagram.
Per the recommendation of a friend, I want to expound on a post I made a few days ago talking about domestic violence and abuse. One, for clarification of what I experienced, and two, because I think our society at large treats it as if, you don't have a ton of bruises, must not have been that bad. And I understand that domestic abuse, domestic violence is a big, broad, generic, scary word, but there's a lot that falls under that category, and diminishing other kinds of abuse that aren't physical keeps women in dangerous, harmful situations. About a year before I got divorced, I started journaling and writing down the things I was experiencing because I knew I wasn't being treated well, and I literally wrote in one of my entries, I think I might be experiencing abuse, but I'm not sure, because I didn't have bruises. And I didn't think people would believe me because as a woman, it's hard to gather and show and provide evidence if it's not physical bruises. But here is a short and complete list of some of the things that I experienced in my relationship that are domestic abuse and violence. He threatened to shoot my friends that he called out by name, that he thought were influencing me to be more liberal and open-minded. The morning we broke up, he told me he was buying guns to restore order. Later told me he never bought guns, he just said that to scare me. People saw half of this on TV when I went back to Minnesota to get divorce papers signed, when he slammed a chair into the bar, which he slammed things like that and made himself very physically threatening a lot. But what was cut out and didn't make it was him looking me in the eye and saying very low, very calm, be very careful what you say. To which I said, peace out. I'm not okay being verbally threatened. I made sure I was meeting with him when there was cameras there for a reason. In arguments, he would refuse to let me leave the house. He would block my car so that I was not able to leave. One time in Italy, when I removed myself from an argument where he was cussing me out and was drunk, he took the door off the hinges angrily and refused to let me be by myself in a room. He left me stranded while traveling internationally with no cell service, and left me in the middle of the city, went back to our hotel, and I didn't have a key to get back or cell service to find a way back, and he didn't care. He never checked in, didn't communicate. He would back me into corners, he would cuss me out, he would spit on my face, and anytime I threatened to call the cops on that, he would say, I didn't hit you, you have nothing on me. He also told me I would never find better, and that everyone would treat me that way, and I know for a fact that's a lie. And if you are a woman in a relationship where you know you are not being treated right, you know that you are not being treated well, you're scared, and you are fearful, just know that there is better, that even if you're not with somebody, you can treat yourself better than that. You deserve better than that. I know that the system is not built to support women, and it lets women down all the time, but there's support here on this page, and with so many other people in the comments that you can find that have gone through similar things.
Notice how Veronica commented, and her username is now totally Veronica versus Veronica Plath. It seems Veronica has grown from her moment of bad-mouthing Olivia with Barry to realizing there truly is something wrong with this Plath family and how they treat people. I fully believe Veronica was so in love with Micah that she believed everything he told her, and that probably led to a lot of negative opinions toward Olivia. It is clear now that she has changed her opinions. However, I still fully believe she was on the show for attention, and it's working out nicely for her. So Isaac confirmed in about January that the shooting for Plathville season 7 was happening, and we know the cameras were at Lydia's wedding. It turns out Veronica was Micah's date to the wedding, and that is where the relationship ended. We don't really know the details of why everything went down, but we know Micah and Isaac had a physical fight and the cameras were not on. This was a bad fight though, because Micah's nose was nearly ripped off and required stitches. Some reports say he was close to death. Many viewers are wondering if he'll ever be able to return to modeling. Ultimately, the news is truly insane. Most people do not think the fight will be featured in the show, just the aftermath. Then, about 3 weeks ago, Veronica decided to start spilling the tea all over Reddit. Starting off, she says that Micah cheated during their relationship. She also shared this. One of my favorite quotes from Ethan was, "He spoke softly and said to me, 'I am going to slit your throat like the pig you are.' This was a result of a conversation where I said threatening to attack people based off their sexuality is a hate crime." On Instagram, she posted photos with the Plaths cows and dog with the caption, "They said the animals like no one. Funny, they seem just fine with me. Maybe they just cannot stand shitty people, neglect, and abuse. Shocking, I know." This matches Olivia's claims of animal abuse at the Plath farm. In a comment, Veronica wrote, "I trusted the wrong people. They used me, mistaking my kindness for weakness. Hindsight is always 20/20. I love Micah more than myself. I lost myself for someone who could never truly love anyone." While some are absolutely eating up Veronica's posts, I will openly admit I still do not like her. On Reddit, she got into a fight with one of Micah's exes and said, "If you're another female on his phone, he blocked every single one in front of me and changed their names to grave emojis, so he probably doesn't know who the fuck you are because there were that many." I'm so sorry, Veronica, but that is weird behavior. Also, she has made so many comments against the Plaths that just feel incredibly hateful and unnecessary. And that's coming from me. Oh, and Ethan has a new girlfriend that he seems to be hoping is easier to control than Olivia was. I really hope this girl is safe and has a good support system regardless of where the relationship goes. When it comes to this channel, I focus on critique over blind hate. I always try to explain the reasoning behind my strong opinions, especially when it comes to topics that matter. I do not support abuse or the exploitation of others in any form. So calling out those who engage in that behavior isn't just mindless hate. To me, it's accountability. I also have a deep dislike for inauthenticity, especially when people use their children for profit. And unfortunately, the Plaths check all of these boxes, which is why I feel so strongly about discussing them. I also want to take a second to really call out TLC. Listen, I'm so guilty of binge watching their shows and getting sucked into all the drama. But honestly, I'm so over them getting away with pushing out misleading narratives and never holding their cast members accountable. Kim should have had to address her DUI on the show. And the fact that Olivia's NDA makes it nearly impossible for her to speak out about the abuse she's experienced from Ethan, that's incredibly fucked up.
Remember a year and a half ago when I tried to get divorced? Yeah, this was all on TV, unfortunately. But yeah, at first my ex would not sign divorce papers because he kept thinking I was going to come back. Very clearly was not. He even said he didn't want to be with me, but he just had this idea that I was going to come back and just, it was going to blow over like every fight we had in the past and it would be fine. Anyways, so he refused to sign papers for a while. When he finally did sign papers, on the show it says like, Ethan finally signed divorce papers. But what is not shown is that he filled them out incorrectly. He refused to put financial information in the paperwork, which is needed in the state of Minnesota. So the court flagged the papers. They never went through. It wasn't actually filed. We didn't get divorced. And when I reached out to him to try to get him to fix the paperwork, he blocked me. And I remained blocked for like a year. I couldn't get a hold of him. He wouldn't sign any papers. And I was like, you know what? Eventually I'm just going to have to serve him papers. This is what it is. Well, a couple months ago, he unblocks me, reaches out and is like, Olivia, I'm sorry I made you wait, but we need to get divorced immediately. Please collaborate on this. This needs to happen as soon as possible. I have an attorney. He'll call you. Get this done, please. And I'm like, hello to you too. Actually not hello. I don't really want to talk to him, but I want to get divorced. So I was just kind of like, what is this? Like, you make me wait a year and then suddenly you're ready and I have to get on your timeline. And I know why he made me wait a year. It's because his dad told him, like, she's making this process all about her. Like, she's making getting divorced all about her. Take your time, Ethan. Don't rush into any paperwork. Making it all about me, as in, I don't want to get threatened with a gun because I'm not a Christian nationalist, so I don't want to be married to you anymore. Sure, if that's all about me because I want to stay alive and I'm scared of you, sure. Yeah. Anyways, so he takes over a year of being an asshole like that. And then reaches out and I have to get divorced immediately. Well, I was in the middle of a business venture, like a financial situation. And I was like, I need to wrap all this up and do my taxes for this year before I can fill out paperwork, because all this financial stuff goes on paperwork. And I needed to get my ducks in a row. I was in the middle of like opening something and they did not feel like they were in a row and I just needed to get a handle on it. So I said, come back to me after tax season. It's a couple months away. You made me wait over a year. It's a couple months away. I need that time to wrap up this financial thing that I'm a part of. And then I will have all my finances in order and I will be ready to sign this paperwork. And oh no, was that good enough for him? Oh no. His attorney calling me left and right, emailing me off of my business website, like, Olivia, please get this done. Olivia, please get this done. Please get this done. And I just kept repeating exactly what I said before. I need to wrap this up and do my taxes for this year and I will get back to you after tax season. And he's like, you don't need to have that done for paperwork. I do because I said so. It doesn't have to make sense to you, but I said I do. And you made me wait over a year. I think you can respect that. Spoiler alert, he couldn't. He asked to meet up in person against my better judgment. I never should have done this, but I did, and he showed up 2 hours late to our meeting. And when I said, you're 2 hours late, you couldn't have had the decency to reschedule, he just said, it's in the past. As of a minute ago, the past? I can't talk to you about this, actually. I just realized. Yeah, sorry. I can't tell the story publicly yet. Anyway, incredibly rude. And keeps texting me after that, the whole first of the month of April, like, Olivia, we have to get this done. He sends me a text like, me and my attorney are fed up with you. We have to get this done. Please stop stalling. Cooperate with me or it's going to be worse for both of us in the long run. I texted him back. As per my text above and what I told you in person, I need to get through tax season first. Have your attorney call me on April 16th. April 16th comes and goes, no call. April 18th, he reaches out. Have you called my attorney yet? I blocked him. I literally cannot. I will work with his attorney, but not him. The weaponized incompetence, the like refusing to follow any instructions and just be coddled your whole way through life, I literally cannot. So anyways, I'm wondering why he's in such a rush to get divorced. And then I find out he got engaged. Imagine proposing to a girl and being like, will you become my wife? And she says, yes. And he says, oh, I have to legally divorce my other wife first. Not that I'm his wife, in life, but by government papers I am, because he refused to collaborate and sign them. There's a very small part of me that does not want to collaborate with him on getting divorced, because I'm just like,
You're a petulant man-child, and you refusing to give me any respect, but then expecting me to like bend over backwards and get something done for you on your timeline immediately makes me not want to collaborate with you. I don't want to work with you. Like, good luck setting a wedding date. You're still fucking married, bro. I'm just gonna do it. I'm so sick of him being in my life and treating me this way. So anyways, yeah, good luck, Tegan. Good luck to your daughter. But his Instagram following and Instagram likes are very, very telling. Yeah, I remember when there was a queer shooting at a bar in Colorado, he said it's about right. It's about time someone did something about those people. That's just a little story time for you guys. I can't.
TLC keeps giving platforms to truly awful people. And it's not just with Welcome to Plathville. We've seen it with the Duggars, Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé, Cody from Sister Wives, and the list just goes on. It's honestly disgusting. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I have missed y'all deeply, and I'm hopeful I can figure out my work-life YouTube balance again. The comments I received on my recent post were so sweet and really helped me give myself some grace after such a hard past few months. Genuinely, thank you for watching and commenting and taking time away from the crap going on in this world to just watch a supposedly faithful and perfect family completely fall apart. On that note, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe below, and thanks for watching. Just a reminder, critiquing isn't the same as hating, especially when it's about protecting people.